There are those days, aren't there? Days when the sheer weight of existence feels almost too heavy to bear. Your spirit sags, your body aches with a fatigue that no sleep can conquer, and your very soul simply doesn't feel like it. You drag yourself through the motions, a phantom limb reaching for motivation that isn't there. Perhaps you recall a moment, crystal clear in its agonizing detail, when you truly, honestly gave up. Not on a trivial task, but on the profound possibilities residing deep within you, the unique brilliance that was meant to shine. Remember the sting of that resignation, the gnawing realization that your boundless potential lay dormant, unfulfilled, perhaps even forgotten. Recall those periods when complaints flowed freely from your lips, a torrent of grievances against the world, while meaningful action was as scarce as rain in a desert. You found excuses for every inaction, justifications for every retreat, building walls of rationalization around your comfort zone. This isn't just about feeling tired, it's about the erosion of purpose, the quiet surrender of your own agency. It's the subtle, insidious whispers that tell you to settle, to accept mediocrity, to believe that striving is futile. What if I told you that these very days, the ones cloaked in exhaustion, in apathy, in the desperate desire to simply disappear, are precisely the ones that count the most? What if the struggle itself holds the key to your greatest triumphs? The moments of profound discomfort, the battles waged not against external foes, but against your own inner resistance. These are the proving grounds. These are the crucibles where true strength is forged, where the metal of your character is tested and purified. These are the moments when, if you choose to lean in, to push through, to engage that silent, stubborn will, you unlock a power you never knew you possessed, because it is in the depth of our weariness that we often find the deepest wells of resilience, waiting to be tapped. The days you don't feel like it, those are the days that define you. Welcome, thoughtful souls, kindred spirits on this incredible journey of life, to a profound exploration, not of grand, sweeping gestures, but of the quiet, enduring internal transformation that reshapes everything. Today, we embark on a deep dive into the timeless, deeply resonant wisdom of Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that even in our frenetic modern world offers a beacon of light, a compass for navigating the often turbulent seas of existence. It's a philosophy born of resilience, forged in the fires of adversity and perfected through centuries of profound introspection. We're here to uncover how truly disciplining your mind isn't merely about forcing yourself through discomfort or gritting your teeth in defiance. No, it's something far more profound. It's about cultivating an inner fortress, a sanctuary of peace and clarity that remains unshaken no matter what storms rage outside. It's about unlocking a deep, enduring sense of purpose, a quiet yet unyielding control over your own destiny, and a profound, lasting serenity that transcends fleeting circumstances. This isn't about being born with extraordinary talent, or possessing some elusive gift, or even being the quickest or the strongest. It's about tapping into a quiet, unyielding power that lies dormant within each and every one of us, waiting patiently to be acknowledged, nurtured, and finally awakened. Here at the Stoic Philosophy channel, our mission is to illuminate these powerful, life-altering principles. We believe that by embracing the practical wisdom of the Stoics, you can transform your challenges into opportunities, your anxieties into calm resolve, and your daily life into a testament to inner strength and peace. If you resonate with the idea of forging a mind that is robust, serene, and capable of profound happiness, I invite you to join our growing community. Subscribe to the Stoic Philosophy channel today. By doing so, you'll gain continuous access to videos designed to help your mind become stronger, more peaceful, and truly happy, guiding you on this incredible path of self-mastery and enduring well-being. Let's explore together how to make wisdom not just a concept, but a living, breathing practice in your life. We often find ourselves adrift, don't we? Like a small boat tossed on a vast, unpredictable ocean, pulled relentlessly by the powerful currents of external circumstances. We react to the waves rather than charting our own course. We are spectators in our own lives, bystanders to our own destinies, constantly responding to the world's demands instead of proactively shaping our reality. How often do we complain about the eroding state of our health, the persistent anxieties around our finances, the simmering tensions in our relationships? We voice our frustrations, our worries, our deepest discontents with an almost ritualistic regularity. Yet, despite this constant lament, how often do we truly, decisively take charge? How often do we seize the helm of our own lives with a firm grip and an unwavering gaze? The bitter truth, perhaps one we instinctively shy away from, is this. If you're not willing to step bravely outside the cozy, familiar confines of your comfort zone, that gilded cage of habit and complacency, if you're not willing to truly, deeply understand the boundless principles and the untapped possibilities that lie dormant within yourself, then everything you are striving for, every profound dream you hunger for, every aspiration that lights a flicker in your soul, will inevitably, agonizingly fade away. It will dissipate like morning mist under the harsh glare of the midday sun, leaving behind only the cold, hard ground of regret. We chase fleeting pleasures with a feverish intensity, don't we? We pursue temporary highs, momentary distractions, only to find them, in the stark light of introspection, utterly hollow. Like grasping at smoke, they vanish as soon as we try to possess them, leaving an even deeper void. We blame the relentless parade of external events for our misfortunes, the economy, the political landscape, the actions of others, even fate itself. We craft elaborate narratives of victimhood, pointing fingers outward, rarely inward. Yet in this relentless search for external culprits, we so often, so tragically, overlook the countless small, silent failures that accumulate day by painstaking day. These aren't grand, dramatic collapses. They are subtle, almost imperceptible erosions. A missed call, a forgotten promise, a neglected health check, a word of apology left unsaid, a deliberate push to discomfort avoided. These are the grains of sand that, one by one, pile up invisibly until they manifest as a sudden, overwhelming, and seemingly cataclysmic event. Then, when the edifice of our lives crumbles, we point to that singular, spectacular collapse, oblivious to the fact that it was built upon a foundation of countless neglected moments. It's the equivalent of a mighty oak falling and blaming the wind, when in reality its roots were slowly, imperceptibly rotting from within. Have you felt this quiet, insidious accumulation of regret? The subtle weight of unfulfilled potential pressing down upon your spirit? The chilling fear of looking back one day at the twilight of your life and seeing a canvas largely untouched, a story largely unlived. This isn't merely a philosophical problem, it's the human condition. We are caught in a current of external demands and internal resistance. We crave freedom, yet cling to chains of habit. We desire growth, yet shrink from discomfort. The challenge isn't the presence of obstacles, but our ingrained tendency to yield to them, to externalize our locus of control, to surrender our inner sovereignty. It's the whisper of "I can't," echoing louder than the roar of "I will." It's the seductive comfort of what is known, outweighing the vital necessity of what needs to be done. It's the pervasive myth that success is an overnight phenomenon, a lightning strike of luck rather than the meticulous, humble work of 1,000 ordinary days. And in believing this myth, we sabotage our own journey before it even truly begins, forever waiting for a grand event that may never come, while the silent failures continue their relentless, unseen work. This, then, is the problem we must confront, head-on, with clear eyes and an unwavering resolve. The Stoic path to mastery. Now that we've bravely faced the challenges that hold us back, it's time to equip ourselves with the timeless tools of Stoicism to overcome them. This section isn't just about understanding concepts, it's about practical application, forging real, lasting change within your daily life. We'll explore the core tenets that empower us to move from passive reaction to active creation, from fleeting regret to enduring purpose. Through powerful insights and actionable strategies, we'll delve into how to cultivate resilience, embrace consistent action, build diversified strength, nurture inner joy, and consciously design a life of profound meaning. This is where theory meets practice, where ancient wisdom transforms into modern power. The unyielding grind, forging your inner citadel. Think for a moment about those moments of breakthrough you've witnessed or perhaps experienced yourself. The athlete who defies gravity, the artist who paints a masterpiece, the entrepreneur who builds an empire from nothing. We often look at their gleaming success and whisper, "They're just talented," or "They were born gifted." But that, my friends, is a seductive illusion, a convenient lie we tell ourselves to avoid the uncomfortable truth. The truth is, success and failure are not sudden, cataclysmic events. They don't just show up on your doorstep like an unexpected lottery win or a devastating natural disaster. You don't suddenly become successful overnight, nor do you wake up one morning inexplicably failed. No, these monumental shifts are the quiet, cumulative echoes of 1,000 small, consistent actions, or tragically, in the case of failure, 1,000 small, consistent inactions. Failure isn't a grand collapse. It's the failure to make that difficult call, the failure to review the books, the failure to humble yourself and say, "I'm sorry." It's the constant, subtle failure to push yourself to do things, physically, mentally, emotionally, that you simply do not want to do. And all those little failures, day after painstaking day, compound. They weave together into an invisible tapestry of neglect until one day a seemingly cataclysmic event strikes, and you mistakenly blame that event, completely missing the silent, relentless rot that had been festering beneath the surface because you missed all the little, seemingly insignificant stuff. Do you agree with this often unspoken reality? And conversely, success, by the way, is absolutely not some overnight miracle. It is also born from all these little things. Success is having a vision so clear it burns in your soul, so compelling it pulls you forward, even when doubt tries to drag you back. Success is truly seeing it, feeling it, breathing it every single day, fueled by reasons strong enough to move mountains. Success is waking up with the unshakable sense that I am here to grow and I am here to give something meaningful to the world, something far greater than just myself. It's in the seemingly mundane, the unglamorous, the daily grind that the true magic happens. In business, it comes from consistently delivering far more than anyone could possibly imagine. All those little, almost invisible acts of excellence add up until people look at you and go, "Wow, that's who I want to do business with." This truth echoes in every single area of your life. You have to literally show up every day and inch yourself forward, relentlessly, toward those dreams that call to you from the future. And it's not enough to just show up and occasionally, once in a while, inch forward. I mean, every single day, you must take a deliberate, tangible action that moves you forward. Not just endless research, not just passive thinking. Look, the power of intention, of positive visualization, is undoubtedly great. But without any initiative, without that vital spark of action, it is utterly dead. A dream, however beautiful, however vividly imagined, without any movement towards it, is a lifeless thing. You have to be moving towards it every single day. This can be small. You can send an email every day. You can make one difficult phone call every day. You can write something, anything, every day. You can create something, however imperfect, every day. You can contribute something, however small, to someone else's life, every day. But it has to be daily. Otherwise, that grand dream, that profound vision, will never ever become actualized. The highest performers in the world did not get there because they were lucky. They worked at it longer than everyone else. They possessed a superior work ethic. And it's not necessarily that they always worked harder, but they consistently worked smarter. They invested the time in deep research. They took moments to vividly visualize how they would be distinct, how they would be different, how they would not just survive, but thrive through the toughest times. They truly, relentlessly kept at it. Their secret was maintaining momentum every single day. And if you don't do that, there is, quite frankly, no chance of reaching the heights you envision. This is the unyielding grind, the forging of your inner citadel, one consistent, determined push at a time. The power of daily intention, breathing life into your vision. Let's talk about the raw power of intention. It's magnificent, isn't it? The sheer force of a focused mind, dreaming, desiring, visualizing. We can close our eyes and paint vivid pictures of our future, feel the emotions of success, almost taste the victory. But here's the stark reality, a truth as unyielding as gravity. Without any initiative, that intention is dead. It's like having the most intricate, beautiful blueprint for a magnificent skyscraper, but never laying a single brick. A dream, however grand, however exquisitely detailed, without any tangible movement towards it, is a beautiful, inert sculpture. It's lifeless, a mere phantom of what could be. We often fall into the trap of endless preparation, don't we? We research tirelessly, we think deeply, we plan meticulously. We spend hours, days, sometimes even years in the theoretical realm. While preparation is vital, it must always serve as a prelude to action. If our actions don't follow our intentions, then our intentions remain just that, intentions, whispers on the wind. The true transformation, the palpable shift in your reality, begins with daily, committed action. Think about the simplicity of it. What is one small, manageable action you can commit to every single day that moves you even an inch closer to your goal? Can you send an email today that advances your business or personal project? Can you make that one difficult phone call you've been dreading, the one that holds the key to unlocking a new opportunity? Can you write something, anything, perhaps just a paragraph, that contributes to your creative endeavor or strengthens your understanding? Can you create something, however imperfect or small, that didn't exist before? Can you contribute something, perhaps a kind word, a helpful gesture, a piece of your wisdom to someone else's life? The key, the absolute non-negotiable requirement is that it has to be daily. Because if it's not daily, if it's sporadic, if it's merely when the mood strikes you, then that grand dream, that profound vision you hold so dear, will never ever become actualized. It will remain suspended in the realm of potential, forever out of reach. Look at the highest performers in the world, in sports, in business, in arts, in science. They didn't get there because some benevolent force of luck singled them out. They got there because they worked at it longer than everyone else. They possessed an unwavering, almost legendary work ethic. And it wasn't just about brute force. It's not that they always worked harder in terms of hours logged, but they consistently worked smarter. They allocated precious time to deep, insightful research, understanding their landscape intimately. They took dedicated moments to vividly visualize how they would be distinct, how they would differentiate themselves, how they would not just survive, but truly thrive through the toughest, most challenging times. They truly, relentlessly kept at it. Their secret, their unstoppable force, was the unwavering commitment to maintaining momentum every single day. Even on the days when motivation was a distant memory, when the bed seemed too comfortable, when the task felt too daunting, they found a way to take that one small, daily action. And if you don't commit to that relentless daily pursuit of progress, there is, quite frankly, no chance of reaching the heights you envision. This is the essence of breathing life into your vision, transforming intention into undeniable, persistent action. The wisdom of diversification, cultivating unshakable resilience. Let's talk about a universal rule, one so fundamental even the most amateur investor understands it. Diversification. You would never, ever put all your financial eggs into one single basket, would you? Because deep down you know that no matter how sturdy that basket seems, no matter how promising that one investment, one day it will drop. That real estate market, that stock market, that bond market, that collectibles market, show me any asset, any industry, and statistically, history proves it will, at some point, plummet by 50 to 70%. Now imagine if that happens when you're later in life, when your time horizon for recovery has shrunk. For many, in that moment, it could be over. So you have to diversify. And yet, isn't it curious how most people, in their actual lives, disregard this fundamental principle? They know real estate, so they solely invest there, or they know stocks, so that's their only focus. Or they grew up watching their parents flip houses, so they blindly follow that singular path. This singular focus, this putting all your eggs into one life basket, is often the wrong thing to do, creating immense vulnerability. This principle extends far beyond mere finances. It's about building a life so robust, so inherently resilient, that when one pillar shakes, your entire world doesn't collapse. When you pour every ounce of your energy, every dollar of your savings, every fiber of your being into a single business, a single relationship, a single identity, which, let's be honest, is what most of us naturally do, you are essentially putting all your emotional, spiritual, and financial eggs into one incredibly fragile basket. And life, as it always does, will inevitably throw you a curveball. Consider this. You spend 20 years pouring your genius into creating the ultimate navigation system. You remember Garmin or TomTom, those revolutionary devices we used to proudly mount on our dashboards, costing $100. 6 months later, what happened? The iPhone emerged, with Google Maps integrated, giving away superior navigation for free. What does that do to your meticulously built business, to your singular focus, when someone takes your hard-earned product, enhances it, and gives it away for nothing? This is why I always tell people, competition happens, technology happens, life happens. What you must do, beyond your primary pursuit, is to cultivate a second, almost no moving parts business or stream of resilience. Something that requires no people, no significant time commitment after initial setup. Maybe it takes you 2 to 3 days a year, for just 2 or 3 hours each time, after you've diligently done your research and put the system in place. You simply measure its progress a few times a year. That's it. Then you go on with your life, secure in the knowledge that should trouble strike your main endeavor, you are financially set, you are emotionally buffered. Look at the truly successful. I, in my own life, built 31 companies. Now, we have 1,200 employees across 7 different industries doing $5 billion in sales. My seminar business grew geometrically, but with all those moving parts, the only way I've been able to succeed, to navigate the inevitable turbulences, is because I've diversified my assets across every one of those businesses, so that when things were in trouble in one area, I still had enough economic fortitude to take care of myself and keep the struggling business afloat. Every single person needs to create a money machine that works while you sleep. Not just financially, but emotionally and spiritually. A system that doesn't demand constant attention, that provides a robust buffer against life's uncertainties. This is the very essence of Stoic resilience. Understanding what is within your control, your internal assets, your diversified efforts, and what is not. External market shifts, competition, life's unexpected turns, and building your life to be unshakable regardless. It's about not being utterly dependent on any single fragile thing, but building a fortress of diverse strengths. 4 pillars of inner joy, practicing daily habits for a resilient spirit. True, lasting happiness, not the fleeting euphoria of pleasure, but that deep, abiding sense of well-being, emerges not from external circumstances, but from within. It's a cultivated state, a garden tended with care, and it grows most abundantly from purpose and meaning. It doesn't just magically appear from joyrides and superficial delights. This profound sense of purpose and meaning often stems from a concept known in Sanskrit as dharma, a beautiful, powerful idea where you discover the intricate, harmonious intersection between your deepest passion, your inherent strengths, and your boundless compassion. It's the ability to serve the world, to contribute something meaningful by utilizing what you are naturally skilled at, what truly ignites your soul. Now, some of the profound insights into cultivating this inner joy, this resilient spirit, can be found in remarkable places. Some are elegantly distilled in books like The Book of Joy by the Dalai Lama and Desmond Tutu, a work I highly recommend for anyone seeking deeper contentment. And some are lessons I personally absorbed from a different path, living as a monk, which solidified into 4 incredibly potent, yet surprisingly simple, key habits. These aren't abstract concepts. They are daily practices, rituals that, when embraced consistently, have the power to fundamentally reshape your internal landscape and create an unshakable happiness in your life. The first pillar is thankfulness. It's more than just saying thank you. It's a profound shift in perspective, consciously choosing to acknowledge and appreciate the countless blessings, big and small, that permeate your existence. It's a daily practice of seeing the light amidst the shadows, of recognizing the abundance in what you have rather than fixating on what you lack. This simple act of gratitude immediately shifts your brain chemistry, opening your heart and mind to joy. The second pillar is inspiration. This isn't about waiting for a sudden bolt of lightning. It's about actively seeking out wisdom, beauty, and motivation. It means consuming content, whether it's a profound book, an enlightening podcast, a captivating piece of art, or a conversation with a wise mentor that elevates your spirit and expands your mind. It's about consistently filling your inner wellspring with ideas and narratives that ignite your purpose and remind you of your highest potential. The third pillar is meditation. In our chaotic, noisy world, finding moments of stillness is revolutionary. Meditation isn't about emptying your mind, but about observing it, understanding its patterns, and gently guiding it back to the present moment. It's about creating a quiet space where you can connect with your inner self, calm the incessant chatter, and develop a profound sense of inner peace. Just 5 or 10 minutes a day can transform your ability to respond to life's stresses with equanimity. And the fourth pillar is exercise. Our bodies and minds are intimately connected. Physical movement isn't just about fitness, it's about releasing pent-up energy, clearing mental fog, and generating positive biochemicals that elevate mood and reduce stress. It's about honoring the vessel that carries your spirit, recognizing that a healthy body is a crucial foundation for a disciplined mind and a joyful spirit. Whether it's a brisk walk, a rigorous workout, or gentle stretching, consistent physical activity is non-negotiable for holistic well-being. This is how I view true happiness, not as a fleeting emotion, but as a direct result of consistently practicing these daily rituals, these potent habits. They are the building blocks that empower us to create profound, enduring happiness in our lives. From a more long-term perspective, as we discussed, happiness deepens and stabilizes when it's rooted in a strong sense of purpose and meaning. These 4 pillars are the practical daily steps you can take to cultivate that sense of purpose, to align your actions with your deepest values, and to construct an inner world that is both resilient and profoundly joyful. Consciously designing your life, the architect of your destiny. Let's shift our focus to an idea that can revolutionize your existence: consciously designing your life. This isn't some abstract concept. It's an active, deliberate process that the most successful and fulfilled individuals live out day in and day out. When you observe someone whose world seems perfectly integrated, where the people they associate with, the activities they pursue to cultivate energy, the subjects they focus on to maintain their excitement, their very environment, it all feels seamless. It's as if nothing in their life is simply by accident. So what exactly is this whole concept, and how do you actually pull it off? How do you transition from merely existing to intentionally creating your reality? I recall a pivotal moment in my own life, a powerful testament to this very idea, which I might have touched upon previously: my car accident. I was a 19-year-old kid, adrift and struggling. Prior to that fateful accident, I had descended into a deep, dark place, even contemplating suicide. I had lost my identity in the wreckage of a painful breakup with a woman I deeply loved, and the world seemed to collapse around me. Then came the car accident, a sudden, jarring jolt. It created a powerful, almost spiritual juxtaposition. Here I was, suicidal, wanting to take my own life, and then, in an instant, I was in an accident that screamed, "Oh no, I absolutely do not want to die." This terrifying, yet profoundly clarifying experience forced me to confront a fundamental question. How would I evaluate my life at its very end? This question, forged in the crucible of near death, has been the relentless, driving force behind every decision, every effort, every aspiration since that day. I realized with crystalline clarity that at the end of my life, I would personally ask myself these core questions to determine if I had lived well. Was I happy with my life? Did I live fully? Did I love deeply? Did I truly matter? For some watching, these might sound like simple, even cliché questions. So what? They might muse. But for a 19-year-old kid who had just stared into the abyss, these questions implanted themselves deep within my soul and set me on an entirely new trajectory. Consider this. That was over 2 decades ago, 23 years to be precise. If you wake up every single day with a super clear intention, a profound reverence for the precious brevity of life, and the acute realization of how short it truly is, you will, without a shadow of a doubt, get your act together. You stop procrastinating. You stop settling. You start living with a fierce urgency and an undeniable purpose. When I returned to college after that experience, I was a transformed person. Before, I was the depressed kid, the sad kid, the lonely kid, prone to pulling away from the world, hurt and isolated. I came back with an electrifying new intention to live, to connect, to thrive. I wanted to meet people, to engage in meaningful conversations, to embrace life with open arms. And predictably, people around me were bewildered. "Who are you?" they'd ask, baffled by my sudden transformation. And any time you truly change your life, people will often respond with, "What's wrong with you?" But I knew I didn't want misery anymore. I didn't want suffering. I didn't want sadness or the corrosive patterns of negative thinking. I didn't want poor quality relationships or that horrible, hollow feeling of unfulfillment. So I embarked on a relentless quest. How do I not feel horrible? How do I cultivate true well-being? My journey began with reading. First, I devoured books on personal development and self-help. Then I dove headfirst into spirituality, followed by psychology, then neuroscience, then sociology, and finally, leadership. And here's the key. For 23 years, I have read a book a week on one of those topics. For 23 years. This wasn't accidental. It was a conscious, daily decision to feed my mind, to actively design my internal landscape. You cannot go to the future holding on to the biology of your past. You must consciously decide what thoughts you will bring into your future. Write them down. Recognize the insidious whispers of, "I can't. It's too hard. I'll never change. I'll start tomorrow. What's wrong with me?" Or, "It's someone else's fault." Then, decisively, choose to discard them. Next, decide what specific behaviors, actions, or unconscious habits you must change. How do you speak to yourself? Do you complain? Do you blame? Do you make excuses? Do you indulge in self-pity? Become so acutely conscious of these detrimental behaviors that you will never, ever revert to acting them out unconsciously again. And lastly, and perhaps most crucially, you have to decide what emotions no longer belong in your future. This is profound. If you genuinely aspire to be wealthy, you simply cannot carry the emotion of lack with you. If you truly desire to be healthy, you cannot cling to insecurity or paralyzing fear. You must begin to consciously condition your body to a new mind, one infused with the emotions of your desired future. This is the profound act of consciously designing your life, actively sculpting your destiny, one deliberate choice at a time. The art of valuing people, building bridges of influence. Let's delve into a fundamental truth that underpins all lasting success, influence, and fulfillment. The profound art of valuing people. You, for instance, have built an incredible, thriving endeavor here, and every single person in this studio plays an indispensable role in making it happen. This highlights a crucial principle. One is too small a number to achieve greatness. Think about it. When you attempt to carry the entire burden alone, when you try to be the sole engine of your dreams, you inevitably limit your potential. The people you surround yourself with can indeed be your number one liability if you don't recognize their worth, if you fail to empower and appreciate them. But the moment you truly grasp this, the moment you understand that your journey is inextricably linked to the journey of others, and you begin to genuinely value people, that is the precise moment when powerful connections are forged. It's the common ground that builds bridges, transforms collaboration into synergy, and elevates individuals into an unstoppable collective. We all possess an innate radar for authenticity, don't we? Don't you think, Tom, that we instinctively know when a person genuinely values us and when they don't? It's palpable. It's in the way they listen, the way they engage, the way they remember details about our lives. And so, the act of giving value to people and then consistently expressing that value to them becomes the bedrock upon which all meaningful relationships are built. When I entered this studio, my first inclination was to meet every single person. Why? Because you've cultivated an incredibly successful program, and I wanted to meet the individuals who are instrumental in helping you become who you are. I truly love that approach. It begins there with a foundational belief. If I don't genuinely value people, then I simply will not, cannot add value to them. It's an impossible equation. You don't add value to people you don't value. And this extends beyond individuals. You don't add value to anything you don't value. So, this is my simple, yet profoundly effective daily formula, a practice deeply rooted in Stoic principles of duty and community. First, every day I value people. This is the starting point, the unwavering internal commitment. Second, every day I think of ways to add value to people. This means intentionality. I'll often look at my calendar, review my agenda for the day, and even if I didn't realize I'd be with someone specific, like you today, I'll consciously think, okay, how can I add value to them? What can I do for impact theory that will genuinely help, that will just serve their mission? Because, again, if you are consistently adding value to others, you will, by natural law, become of great value to people. Third, when I'm in the setting, I actively look for ways to add value. This is where perception meets opportunity. What we see in the world is often a reflection of what we are looking for. So, If I am actively looking to add value, guess what? I will see countless ways to add value. Someone else might be standing right beside you, completely oblivious to opportunities to contribute, but because I am looking, I find them. Fourth, I actively do things that add value to people. This moves beyond thought and intention into concrete action. It's the practical application of my internal commitment. And fifth, I encourage others to add value to people. This creates a ripple effect, fostering a culture of generosity and mutual upliftment. I have simply lived by this straightforward formula, practicing it every single day of my life. It's deceptively simple, yet incredibly powerful, and I consistently try to help other people embrace it. Because I understand that if they adopt this mindset, wherever they are, whether in a formal leadership culture or not, they will begin to influence their environment, they will begin to genuinely lead people, and they will begin to make a profound, tangible difference in people's lives. I believe this intentional, consistent practice is absolutely essential. Consistency, as we know, compounds. It's not just about one grand gesture, but the relentless accumulation of small acts of valuing and adding value. The roadmap to high performance, structured action, and unwavering consistency. So, how do you truly take that eye-opening, transformative experience, that moment of profound clarity, perhaps even born from crisis, like the one we discussed, and effectively turn it into a concrete roadmap? How do you move beyond the fleeting inspiration and start doing the right things consistently every single day? This is a critical point, because while an eye-opening moment can be incredibly powerful, many people, sadly, will waste it. They'll feel the surge of motivation, they'll glimpse the path, but then, without concrete things to do on a daily basis, without a tangible structure for their life, that newfound clarity will slowly fade. They might follow it for a while, but then life's demands, old habits, and the sheer lack of a clear path will pull them back into familiar patterns. What I truly want you to understand deeply is this. All the extensive research in high performance, all the wisdom gathered from centuries of human endeavor, boils down to tangible, actionable things. It comes down to principles and practices that you can do. It comes down to strategies that you can teach to others. And most importantly, it comes down to clear, repeatable actions that people can use to structure their lives around. What we need to dive into today, right now, is precisely that structure. You know, it's funny how accurately you nailed it. Some people encounter an eye-opening experience, a moment of profound awakening, and do absolutely nothing with it. They let it pass, like a forgotten dream. But then there are those who seize it, who allow it to be the catalyst for monumental growth. I was one of the latter. I came back from that traumatic experience, that car accident, while still in college. And prior to that, I was the archetypal depressed kid, the sad kid, the lonely kid, prone to pulling away from the world because of the hurt I carried. But I came back with an entirely new intention to live. I was hungry for connection, for purpose. I wanted to meet people, to talk to people, to engage with the world with an open heart. And as I said, everyone around me was bewildered, asking, "Who are you?" When you profoundly change your life, people are often uncomfortable. They'll ask, "What's wrong with you?" But I stood firm. I was resolute. I am going to change. Because I knew with every fiber of my being that I no longer wanted misery. I didn't want suffering. I didn't want sadness. I didn't want the corrosive grip of negative thinking. I didn't want the poor quality of relationships that had defined my past. And most of all, I didn't want to feel horrible anymore. So I embarked on a relentless quest, a single-minded pursuit of understanding. How do I not feel horrible? How do I create a life of well-being? My journey began, first and foremost, with reading. I started voraciously consuming everything I could find on personal development and self-help. Then, my curiosity propelled me deeper, and I jumped into spirituality. From there, I transitioned into psychology, then neuroscience, then sociology, and finally, the vast field of leadership. And here's the critical, undeniable truth of my transformation. For 23 consecutive years, I have read a book a week on one of those transformative topics. Think about that. For 23 years. That's over 1,000 books, systematically building a new mind. This relentless, consistent intake of knowledge, this daily commitment to expanding my understanding, was my personal roadmap to high performance. It wasn't about a sudden epiphany. It was about the cumulative power of daily, structured learning and application. This is the essence of Stoicism, not just knowing what to do, but consistently doing it. It's about recognizing that your transformation isn't a single event, but a continuous, disciplined process of self-improvement. The unburdening of the past, crafting your future self. Here is a profound, non-negotiable truth that demands your full attention. You cannot go to the future holding on to the biology of your past. Your past, with its patterns, its traumas, its limitations, has literally hardwired your brain and body. But your future, the one you truly desire, demands a different wiring, a new physiology. This isn't just a metaphor, it's a scientific reality. Your thoughts, your beliefs, your emotional states shape your very physical being down to your cellular level. If you want to step into a new, elevated future, you must consciously, decisively, and relentlessly unburden yourself from the chains of your past. This process begins with your thoughts. You must become the gatekeeper of your mind. Sit down, reflect, and consciously decide what thoughts you will bring into your future. Write them down. Be brutally honest with yourself. Recognize those insidious, self-sabotaging thought patterns that have held you captive. I can't. It's too hard. I'll never change. I'll start tomorrow. What's wrong with me? It's someone else's fault. These are the mental shackles. Once you identify them, make a solemn vow. These thoughts no longer serve me. They are banished from my future. This is the Stoic practice of distinguishing between what is within your control, your judgments and thoughts, and what is not. Next, you must precisely decide on what behaviors or actions, and especially what unconscious habits, you have to change. How do you talk to yourself? How do you talk to others? Do you consistently complain about your circumstances? Do you incessantly blame others for your misfortunes? Do you habitually make excuses for your inaction? Do you regularly feel sorry for yourself, indulging in self-pity? These are not just fleeting moments, they are deeply ingrained patterns that actively sabotage your progress. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to become so intensely conscious of these detrimental behaviors that you will never, ever slip back into performing them unconsciously again. Bring them into the light of awareness and they lose their power. And lastly, and perhaps most profoundly, you have to definitively decide what emotions no longer belong in your future. This is a radical act of self-authorship. Our emotions are powerful drivers, but they can also be toxic baggage if they are rooted in past pain or scarcity. This means, quite simply, if you genuinely aspire to be wealthy, you absolutely cannot take the emotion of lack with you into that future. You cannot cling to feelings of scarcity, deprivation, or financial anxiety if you aim to manifest abundance. Your internal emotional state must align with your desired external reality. Similarly, if you truly desire to be healthy, to radiate vitality and well-being, you cannot, under any circumstances, carry the corrosive emotions of insecurity or fear regarding your body, your health, or your future. These emotions are antithetical to the state of health you seek. You have to actively, consciously, and persistently begin to condition your body to a new mind. A mind that is vibrant with possibility, brimming with confidence, and resonating with the emotions of your desired future rather than clinging to the limiting emotions of your past. This isn't easy, but it is the ultimate act of self-mastery, the path to true freedom, and the most direct route to creating the future you deserve. Consistency compounds the relentless force of small daily actions. Let's address the fundamental truth that separates those who merely dream from those who actually achieve. Consistency compounds. This isn't just a catchy phrase, it's a universal law, as undeniable as gravity. It's the relentless accumulating power of small, deliberate, daily actions. Think of it like a snowball rolling downhill. It starts small, almost imperceptible, but with every revolution, every consistent push forward, it gathers more mass, more momentum, until it becomes an unstoppable force. Many people experience an eye-opening moment, a flash of insight, a profound realization, a powerful emotional experience. And while these moments are incredibly valuable as catalysts, a significant number of people will, sadly, waste them. They feel the surge of inspiration, the sudden clarity, but without a concrete roadmap and a commitment to daily implementation, that newfound energy dissipates. They might ride the wave for a while, fueled by initial enthusiasm, but without specific, actionable things to do on a daily basis, without a structured approach, the current of old habits and life's inevitable demands will pull them back, and that powerful moment of awakening becomes just another fleeting memory. This is precisely what I want people to grasp, deeply and fundamentally, from all the research I've done on high performance, from all the wisdom distilled from centuries of human striving. It comes down to things that you can do. It comes down to tangible, repeatable actions. It comes down to principles and strategies that you can teach to anyone. And most importantly, it comes down to clear, precise things that individuals can use to structure their entire life around. And what we need to focus on, what we must dive into, is that very structure. You know, it's quite striking how accurate your observation is. Some people truly take an eye-opening experience and do absolutely nothing meaningful with it. They let the fire die out. And then some people, a precious few, grow exponentially from it. For me, coming back from that life-altering car accident in college, I was presented with that very choice. Prior to the accident, I was a deeply depressed kid, a sad kid, often lonely, inclined to withdraw from the world because of the pain I carried. But when I came back, I had this profound, electrifying new intention to live. It was as if I had been given a second chance, a fresh start. And with that came an overwhelming desire to meet people, to engage, to connect with the world in a way I never had before. And, as is often the case when someone makes such a dramatic shift, the people around me were bewildered. "Who are you?" they'd ask, confused by my sudden transformation. And yes, anytime you truly change your life, people will often look at you sideways and ask, "What's wrong with you?" But I was undeterred. I was resolute. I am going to change because I knew with absolute certainty that I no longer wanted misery. I didn't want the gnawing suffering, the oppressive sadness, the corrosive grip of negative thinking. I didn't want the poor quality of relationships or that constant awful feeling of being trapped. So I embarked on a relentless, systematic quest to understand. How do I not feel horrible? How do I cultivate enduring well-being? My journey began, fundamentally, with reading. I started by devouring everything I could find on personal development and self-help. That led me to spirituality, then psychology, then neuroscience, then sociology, and finally, the vast discipline of leadership. And here's the powerful, undeniable evidence of consistency compounding. For 23 consecutive years, I have read a book a week on one of those transformative topics. Think about that. For 23 years, week after week, without fail. You simply cannot go to the future holding on to the biology of your past. This sustained, systematic intake of knowledge, this unwavering commitment to feeding my mind, was my personal roadmap to high performance and profound change. It wasn't about a single grand epiphany, it was about the relentless, cumulative power of daily structured learning and application. This is the essence of Stoicism in action. Not merely understanding what is virtuous or wise, but consistently, daily doing it. It's about recognizing that your transformation isn't a single event, but a continuous, disciplined process of self-improvement, where every small, consistent action builds upon the last, leading to an unstoppable force of positive change. No more regrets. The call to live fully today. Listen closely to these words, for they hold the key to unlocking a future free from the bitter taste of what-ifs. No more regrets. This is not just a wish, it's a declaration. It's a fierce commitment to yourself, to the unique potential that resides within you. How many moments have slipped through your fingers? How many opportunities have vanished into thin air, simply because you hesitated, you procrastinated, you allowed fear or comfort to paralyze you? The regret of inaction, the silent sorrow of roads not taken, often weighs heavier than the sting of failure from trying. We live in a world that constantly tempts us to defer our dreams, to postpone our growth, to push our happiness onto some mythical tomorrow. But tomorrow is a promise to no one. The only moment you truly possess, the only moment where you have absolute power to choose, to act, to transform, is now. So, make a solemn vow to yourself, starting today. Be brave today, so you have no regrets tomorrow. Bravery isn't the absence of fear, it's acting in spite of it. It's stepping into the unknown, taking the difficult call, saying the uncomfortable truth, starting that challenging project even when every fiber of your being screams to retreat. It's choosing growth over stagnation, courage over comfort. Live fully today so you have no regrets tomorrow. This means immersing yourself in the present moment, engaging with life with all your senses, with all your heart. It means appreciating the small joys, learning from the inevitable setbacks, and connecting authentically with the people around you. It means pursuing your passions not just in your dreams, but in your daily reality. It means expressing love, seeking knowledge, and building something meaningful right here, right now. Don't save your best self for a hypothetical future. Unleash it today. This is the Stoic call to action, focusing on what is within your control, your choices, your actions, your attitude in the present moment. The past is gone, the future is uncertain, but the present is your forge, your canvas, your battlefield. Let these words echo in your soul. No turning back. The path to a regret-free life is a one-way street, paved with intentionality and unwavering commitment. There's no rear-view mirror, no option to revert to old patterns, old excuses, old versions of yourself. This is a decisive break with the past, a courageous leap into your authentic potential. And finally, I'm all in for my goals. This is not a partial commitment, not a tentative dip of the toe. This is an unreserved, wholehearted plunge. It means dedicating your energy, your focus, your time, and your will to the pursuit of what truly matters to you. It means eliminating distractions, setting clear priorities, and aligning every action with your highest aspirations. But what you absolutely, unequivocally cannot do, what you must never allow yourself to do, is quit doing the process. You cannot give up. You cannot surrender simply because the results aren't immediately visible, because it ain't what you see right now. The seed doesn't sprout overnight. The oak tree doesn't grow in a season. Champions keep going, pushing forward, taking that one more step, even when they feel they have nothing left in their tank. That is the mark of true discipline, true resilience. That is the ultimate triumph over regret. Live today with such intention and courage that tomorrow looks back and finds nothing but a life fully, powerfully lived. Rewiring your destiny. Here it is, the raw, undeniable truth that stands as the ultimate barrier or the ultimate liberation. You cannot, and I repeat, you cannot go to the future holding on to the biology of your past. Think about that. Every fear, every self-doubt, every limiting belief you've ever entertained has literally etched itself into your neural pathways, woven itself into the very fabric of your being. Your past is not just a memory, it's a physiological blueprint, a deeply grooved pathway your mind and body automatically follow. But the future you dream of, the empowered, vibrant, fulfilled self you aspire to be, demands a different blueprint, a complete rewiring, a brand new physiological state. This isn't merely a philosophical concept, it's a profound scientific reality. Your thoughts, your deeply held beliefs, your sustained emotional states, they are not abstract. They are powerful architects, shaping your very physical being down to the intricate dance of your cells and the very structure of your brain. If you truly, desperately want to step into a new, elevated future, a future of boundless potential, you must, with unwavering resolve, consciously and relentlessly unburden yourself from the chains of your past. These chains aren't forged of steel, they're forged of ingrained habits, unconscious reactions, and outdated emotional baggage. This is the moment of ultimate confrontation. It's the decisive battle fought not on an external field, but within the sacred space of your own mind. It begins with your thoughts. You must become the unyielding gatekeeper of your consciousness. Take a moment, right here, right now. Look inward. honestly, unflinchingly. What are those limiting thoughts that have held you captive? Those insidious, self-sabotaging whispers that tell you, "I can't. It's too hard. I'll never change. I'll start tomorrow. What's wrong with me?" Or the most insidious of all, "It's someone else's fault." These are the mental shackles, the invisible prisons you've built around yourself. Once you identify them, glaring and undeniable, make a solemn, unbreakable vow. These thoughts no longer serve me. They are hereby banished from my future. This is the fundamental Stoic practice, recognizing what is truly within your power to control, your judgments, your thoughts, your reactions, and taking absolute command. Next, you must precisely, mercilessly decide on what specific behaviors or actions, and especially what unconscious habits, you have to irrevocably change. How do you speak to yourself when no one is listening? How do you talk to others when stress hits? Do you constantly complain about your circumstances, feeding the negativity? Do you incessantly blame others for your misfortunes, refusing to take responsibility? Do you habitually make excuses for your inaction, spinning narratives to justify your comfort? Do you regularly feel sorry for yourself, indulging in the debilitating quicksand of self-pity? These are not mere character flaws. They are deeply ingrained patterns that actively, powerfully sabotage your progress and steal your joy. Your urgent mission, your personal revolution, is to become so intensely conscious of these detrimental behaviors that you will never, ever, under any circumstances, slip back into performing them unconsciously again. Bring them into the blazing light of your awareness, confront them, and they will lose their power over you. And lastly, and perhaps most profoundly, you have to definitively decide what emotions no longer belong in your future. This is not a suggestion. It is a radical act of self-authorship, a reclaiming of your emotional sovereignty. Our emotions are powerful currents, but if they are rooted in past pain, scarcity, or fear, they become toxic baggage, dragging you down. This means, with absolute clarity, if you genuinely aspire to be wealthy, truly abundant in all aspects of your life, you absolutely, positively cannot take the emotion of lack with you into that future. You cannot cling to feelings of scarcity, deprivation, or financial anxiety if you aim to manifest a life of abundance. Your internal emotional state must align, resonate, and vibrate with your desired external reality. Similarly, if you truly desire to be healthy, to radiate vitality, strength, and well-being from the inside out, you cannot, under any circumstances, carry the corrosive emotions of insecurity or paralyzing fear regarding your body, your health, or your future. These emotions are antithetical to the very state of health you seek. You must actively, consciously, and persistently begin to condition your body to a new mind, a mind that is vibrant with possibility, brimming with unwavering confidence, and resonating with the exhilarating emotions of your desired future, rather than clinging to the limiting, suffocating emotions of your past. This is not easy. It will demand courage. It will demand relentless discipline. But it is the ultimate act of self-mastery, the only path to true freedom, and the most direct route to forging the extraordinary future you not only dream of, but profoundly deserve. This is your moment. This is your choice. Now, fight. Take control of your life, and you will change it forever. Conclusion. So, as we bring this profound journey into the heart of Stoic discipline to a close, let's reflect on the invaluable wisdom we've uncovered. We began by acknowledging the universal struggle, those days when the desire to simply give up feels overwhelming. Yet, we've come to understand that these very moments are not weaknesses, but powerful crucibles where true strength is forged. The path to a life of purpose and profound peace isn't found in avoiding discomfort, but in courageously embracing the daily grind. We've learned that true success and profound failure are not sudden cataclysmic events, but the cumulative echoes of countless small, consistent actions, or tragically, inactions. We've seen how dreams, however grand, remain inert without the vital spark of daily action. It's the unwavering commitment to inching forward, day by day, that transforms intention into tangible reality. We explored the timeless wisdom of diversification, extending its principle beyond finance to cultivate a robust, multifaceted resilience in every area of our lives, ensuring that when one pillar shakes, our entire world remains unshakable. We identified the 4 pillars of inner joy: thankfulness, inspiration, meditation, and exercise as practical, daily rituals that cultivate enduring happiness from within, grounding us in purpose and meaning. And finally, we confronted the transformative power of consciously designing your life. This isn't about passive hope. It's about actively deciding what thoughts, behaviors, and emotions no longer belong in your future. It's about unburdening yourself from the biology of your past and bravely stepping into the new mind and body of your desired future. This is the essence of Stoicism, a practical, actionable philosophy that empowers you to control what is within your power, your judgments, your reactions, your choices, and to find serenity amidst life's uncertainties. It's a call to unwavering self-mastery, transforming challenges into opportunities for growth. Now, the journey doesn't end here. The true power of Stoicism, the profound impact of these ancient principles, lies not just in understanding them, but in actively applying them to your life every single day. The question now isn't merely, do you understand these truths, but rather, will you act on them? Will you choose to live them? Take a moment right now to reflect. Decide what thoughts, what behaviors, what deep-seated emotions you are ready to leave behind in the shadows of your past. Then, choose just one small, intentional, consistent action you can commit to taking daily. An action that moves you even an inch closer to becoming that disciplined, serene, and truly happy individual you envision. Start with gratitude, with a brief moment of quiet meditation, or perhaps with a gentle physical challenge that pushes your comfort zone. The time for hesitation, for excuses, for deferring your true potential is officially over. This is your moment to fully step into a life of purpose, control, and profound peace, a life without regret. And to continue on this transformative path, to keep equipping your mind with the resilience and wisdom it needs, I urge you to explore the other videos here on the Stoic Philosophy YouTube channel. Each one is crafted to provide you with practical insights and actionable strategies for mastering your mind and living a life of virtue. Don't let these powerful lessons simply fade away. To ensure you don't miss any of our upcoming videos, any future insights that can fortify your spirit and guide your choices, please take a moment right now to subscribe to the Stoic Philosophy channel and hit that notification bell. Join our growing community of thoughtful individuals committed to personal growth and timeless wisdom. Thank you so much for investing your valuable time with us today, for opening your mind to these powerful ideas. May your journey be filled with courage, clarity, and an unshakable inner peace. Live with intention, live with courage, and may your future be free from all regrets.